Chapter 1. Zil slowly opened his sleepy eyes. Today is the 15th day of the purple moon on the holy calendar, and he is now 15 years old. Unlike his previous life, Zil now had grey hair. He is 180 centimeters tall, and his skin is a bit pale. The thing that stood out the most about him was his crimson eyes. Before he reincarnated, his eyes were brown because his old power awakened in his new body 3 years ago. Zil's eyes suddenly turned crimson. Another visible thing from his figure was the burn on his face, shaped like a magic circle, piled with the aura sealed. It happened because his body couldn't contain the power, and he had to seal it by force. Unfortunately, the seal was unstable at the current state of his body, and the result was the mark of his face. But it will disappear with the time and training. The dream again, huh? Zil muttered while looking at the ceiling of his room. He quickly got up from his bed and prepared to clean himself and start training. The training referred here is training to become a servant. Suddenly, the door to his room opened. The one who entered was a middle-aged woman in a maid outfit. The woman's name is Anna. She was golden yellow hair and a bun. She is Zil's adopted mother and a butler of the agent's kingdom's castle. It is said that Zil was found when he was a baby in an abandoned house when she took shelter during a heavy rain after she returned from Aurelia Kingdom. She also got Zil Crimsil's name from the letter she found with Zil. Zil, you're awake, right? Anna asked Zil. Yeah, I just woke up. What's wrong with you, Anna? You look in a hurry today, Zil asked Anna, who suddenly entered her room without knocking first. Zil thought it was unusual for Anna to act in such a hurry. Imagine just seeing somebody going in. He remembered there shouldn't be anything important today. Huh? Did you forget, Zil? Today is the selection of the new servant for the nobles. And the royal family. Anna was surprised because she had told Zil about this event yesterday. Ah, I just remembered it was held today, but it doesn't seem to have anything to do with me. Will choose a servant with a sour face like me? Zil answered flatly. Anna felt a pain in her chest after hearing Zil say that. She already thought of Zil as her son, even though his face was disfigured like that for some unknown reason. Anna still loves him. You must prepare yourself for the servant selection because Princess Aisha will be coming to the event with the Princess Freya. Anna said exactly. Princess Freya? Isn't she the princess of the Aurelia Kingdom? Did she come to pick a servant too? Zil asked because he didn't understand Princess Freya's purpose. The king, Ulrich, is having a meeting with the king, Leonida. The Princess Freya came with him. Princess Freya is also Princess Aisha's childhood friend, so she came only to accompany Princess Aisha. Both princesses are gorgeous, Zil. Anna laughed teasingly at Zil. Is that so? There's no way I'll be chosen to be their servant. It's none of my business either. Alright, I'll prepare myself first. Zil shrugged his shoulders like he didn't care about it. Okay, I'll wait for you outside. Anna was sad to hear him say that. Yes, Zeal only answered briefly. Anna rushed out and closed the door as soon as Anna came out. Zeal immediately got ready to shower and dress. He didn't forget to take the mask from his spare storage. The mask was plain white with no holes and only had pattern on his eyes. The mask looked ordinary and is not made of metal, wood, or plastic, but is made specifically of bone, dragon bone. To be precise, the mask was an artifact that would conceal the mana and aura leaking from his face and eyes. He wore the mask so others won't see the mark on his face, even when Zeal talked to Anna without wearing the mask. He had to close his eyes because his eyes sometimes glowed. After all, the power he was sealed was unstable. Zeal took a deep breath and put the mask on his face. Then he immediately came out of his room, and there Anna was waiting for him to come out. Are you ready? Anna asked excitedly. What am I ready for? Zeal asked back, slightly tired. Of course, for the servant selection, this is your chance, Zeal. Please don't be persistematic. Your ability has already surpassed other young servants, and I try to encourage Zeal, even if my face is like this. They will run away while I serve them, Zeal said while pointing at his face. Just go straight to the place where the event is being held. The venue for the event was in the garden behind the castle. Anna sighed and pulled Zeal's hand forwards towards the servant selection venue. Yes, Zeal nodded slightly in response and walked after Anna. Thousands of young servants came flocking to the garden behind the castle. The event will start at lunchtime, so at least there's still plenty of time to prepare. But they had already gathered in the garden behind the castle, which meant that this event was significantly to them. Oh, who's coming? A bad-looking servant who dream he will serve the nobles? Suddenly someone threw sarcasm at Zeal. He is a boy Zeal's age, with yellowish golden hair, yellow eyes, and quite handsome. He is taller than Zeal, with a height of 185 centimeters. The boy's name was Rainer. He is a biological son of Anna, but from the way he spoke, he didn't like Zeal. Rainer, what did you say? Anna asked in a slightly angry tone. Zeal just slightly heard his words and didn't even look at him, but Anna, who heard it, became angry. What did I say, Mom? What I said is the truth, right? Rainer asked the friends behind him with a smile. Yeah, that's right. Yes? The young servants who came along with Rainer answered it. They were Rainer's friends, but the thing that made Anna even angrier. Rainer, stop it. You'd better prepare yourself to serve the nobles later instead of thinking about others. Are you sure you are worthy to serve them? Anna said seriously. Tch, you always help him. Is he more important than you? Than me? Let's go from here. This will only spoil my mood. Rainer clicked her tongue in disbelief. Rainer went with his friends to the servants' preparation area. Anna approached Zeal and patted him on the shoulder to calm him down. I'm sorry for what Rainer did. Hope you don't think about it too much, Anna said weakly. You don't have to worry about that. Rather than that, shouldn't you also prepare to welcome the nobles and their royal families as butlers? Gilles shook his head and remembered Anna of her assignment. Yeah, you're right. I was just about to say it. Alright, you can prepare yourself at a place where the young servants gathered. I will go to arrange the senior servants first. Good luck today, Zil, Anna said cheerfully, and left Zil alone in the place. Hopefully, Zil answered nonchalantly. Anna walked hastily towards the senior servants' quarters to prepare herself for the upcoming nobles and their royal families. Zil went to where the young servants were gathered and just stood quietly in the corner of the place without saying anything. Chapter 2. The time for the selection servant for the nobles and the royal family had finally arrived. All the servants had gathered and prepared at their places. What will it be seen from a servant is the ability of service, attitude, and appearance. If the servants had other abilities such as swordsmanship or magic, it became their plus point, and it will be the consideration of the nobles or the royal family to choose them. When the time came, the nobles of the Argent Kingdom came one after another. I count a Vicious and Marquis, and a duke came to get a new servant. The servant would show their best serviceability to impress the nobles. Why did it have to be like that? After becoming a servant of a noble family, their life and safety will be guaranteed. The higher the nobility, the higher their social status. The nobles who came to the event were immediately confronted by the servants standing in a row to greet them, and the noble will see the appearance of the servants. The servants immediately gave their most beautiful smile, polite attitudes, and the best serviceability, but none of the nobles took a glance at Zeal, because no one wanted to hire a servant who wore a mask. Zeal just stood in a corner without anyone noticing, and he purposely isolated himself from others using magic. I knew it. I would turn out like this. But I can't refuse Anna's words. The seal that locked my powers is starting to stabilize. Once it's completed, stabilized, I don't need this mask anymore, Zil said quietly while stroking his mask. Zil had to seal his powers because his powers became strange after he was cursed. Every time he unleashed his full power, there will be dangerous nature's phenomena. Therefore, he had to seal his powers. But since his seal and body weren't strong enough to lock in his powers, the side effect was that the magic circle and aura sealed were imprinted on his face like a burn. I just want to live a quiet and peaceful life in this era. Zeal muttered under his breath without anyone listening to him. As Zeal was deep in thought, he heard a loud noise coming from the direction of the entrance. He saw two girls his age and a little girl. The first girl had a beautiful long silver hair decorated with snowflakes, patterned hairpin. She was wearing a blue dress that looked very elegant and luxurious. The other girl has long golden hair with a tiara adorning it. She was in a white dress and was no less beautiful than the girl next to her. The latter was a silver-haired little girl who looked similar to the former Zeal could tell just by looking that the little girl was the family of the silver-haired girl. The two girls are undeniably beautiful, kindly beautiful. Even the young servants held their breath at the beautiful sight. The three girls were escorted by the knights looked strong. One knight was female and other was male. The identities of three girls could already be seen from the treatments of the Guardian Knights. They are the first princess of the Argent Kingdom and Arla Kingdom. Seal looked at the two princesses, and he narrowed his eyes, not because they're beautiful, but because one of the princesses had unstable mana and seemed to be running amok. An incredible amount of mana, too bad it can be controlled. It will be excruciated after the mana keep rage like that, especially at night. Well, that's none of my business either. After looking at it for a while, Zeal turned his face away from them. Zeal was lost in thought again in the corner of the banquet hall without anyone noticing him. When other people didn't pay attention to him, he didn't need to pay attention to them either. Zeal didn't care and didn't want to be bothered by such an event from the start. Or so he thought, until a little girl voice interrupted him and brought him back to his senses. "Excuse me, are you the servants who joined this event as well?" A little girl with short silver hair called out to him while he was standing still in the corner of the banquet hall. "Yes, I'm a participant in this event too. Is there anything I can help you with, miss?" Zeal spoke with a slight bow and blessed with his right hand on his chest. It was the courtesy of a servant that Zeal learned the little girl smile widely when called miss by Zeal. No one had called me that before. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm the second princess of the Argent Kingdom, and my name is Alice Argent. Alice introduced herself while pinching the hem of the dress was wearing, even though she looked immature, her movements and exquisite wearing, even though I apologize to Her Highness Princess Elise for my rudeness, and if any of my words offend you, I ask for your forgiveness, Seal said while lowering his hands. Zell thought of something as he lowered his hands. He used a magic to isolate himself. But this little girl still found him, even though Zell could only use 2 circle spells due to his seal power. The spell should have tremendous effectiveness in his hands, but still, the little girl was able to find him. Ah, no. I shall be able to unapologize. I accidentally saw you wearing a mask and standing alone in a corner. Hey, can I see your face behind that mask? Princess Alice asked seriously. Sorry, I can't open it, Princess Alice. The burn mark on my face are so unsightly. They'll only scare and disgust you. Zeal lowered his head and tried to decline her request politely. I'm fine with that. So can you show me your face? Princess Alice kept urging his Zeal. Zeal was at a loss about responding to this little princess' request. At the same time, he heard a melodious voice rebuking Princess Alice. Alice, what are you doing? Are you disturbing others again? Quietly apologized to her. The one who represented Princess Alice was a girl with the same hair color, but looked more mature and prettier. She wore an elegant blue dress and a snowflake hairpin, and her long silver hair. She looked very charming before the Princess Alice could answer. A male knight showed at Azil first. Hey servant, how dare you to act so boldly to Princess Alice? This is troublesome. Zil sighed heavily in his heart after thinking about what might happen